Democrat California Congressman Khanna says middle-class Americans are worse off after Republicans pass the big, beautiful bill. Listen.
In 2017, there was disproportionate benefits for the wealthy, but you're right, everyone got some break. Now, 40% of Americans, if you're working class or middle class, you're actually going to be worse off because you're going to lose health care, you're going to lose food assistance, and the small tax cut isn't going to make up for that. So if you're in the top 50% of Americans, fine. But if you're in the middle class and working class, this bill is actually going to make you worse off. And that's why it's such a cruel policy.
Florida Congressman and gubernatorial candidate Byron Donalds joins me now. Congressman, you know, there are a lot of people in that bottom 50% that Khanna was talking at, and I hate to use those words because some of the finest people in America are in the bottom 50%. It makes it sound like it's a bad thing. Some of them are on tips. They're making most of their money on tips. Some of them work overtime and don't get any tax advantages. Now they will. This is, many people could argue, this is a blue-collar bill more than it is focusing on the rich folks.
It absolutely is. All we did in the bill when it came to the top income brackets is we kept them consistent. That's what we did. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime actually helps working families and middle class families.
Of course it does.
But I think the piece that Roe was talking about is around Medicaid and SNAP. What we did on those two things is we put work requirements back in. That's common sense policy. And then the other thing we did is we just made sure that there were more eligibility checks. So people who actually are eligible for these programs are on them. That's to prevent waste, fraud, and abuse, something the vast majority of the American people, including those who are on the bottom 50% of the income spectrum in America, support as well. What the Democrats are complaining about is that the insane rate of growth that they put us on, which is fiscally unsustainable, no, we're stopping that. That doesn't mean people who qualify, and that does not mean people who are at the bottom end of the income ladder aren't seeing benefits out of this bill. They absolutely are. Yeah. We are favoring working workers in our country. We're favoring people who do a lot of overtime in this country, and we're making sure that illegals and other people who are not eligible are no longer on these programs.
You know, the arguments about workfare and requiring people to work for the various benefits they get. I heard the same arguments back in the 1990s when Bill Clinton, a Democrat Bill Clinton, was working with Newt Gingrich for the work requirements for welfare. And as a result of those efforts, we saw welfare rolls go way down. We saw people come out of poverty, particularly children that were in poverty. Over 1 million people came out of poverty as a result of that bill. So they were dead wrong on that. But there's also the stimulative aspect to this bill, which is now law. And I want you to listen to Speaker Johnson talking about that. Roll it.
We've been talking about that publicly and privately for a year and a half. We have always planned to do the first big reconciliation bill, which is the big, beautiful bill. Now it's done a huge leap forward for our priorities. But then also we've been planning a second reconciliation bill for the fall that would be attached to the next fiscal year, and then potentially one in the spring. That's my plan. 3 reconciliations bills before this Congress is over. I think we can do that. And so you'll see more of us advancing these common sense principles to deliver that America First agenda for the people. That's what they elected us to do. And this was a huge leap forward.
Congressman, you're a former businessman. Explain how this could launch our economy into a new sphere.
A number of ways. Number one, tax policy, border stuff, and defense. That was all critical to get done. We got that accomplished. We still have more work we can do in energy reforms so that we can be energy dominant in the United States. An energy dominant America stabilizes prices for working families, for small businesses, allows our economy to continue to thrive. We still have some stuff we need to do around waste, fraud, and abuse. There's no doubt about that. The more that we stop the velocity of borrowing by Washington, D.C., the cheaper credit is for families and for small businesses around the United States. So those are the things that still need to be accomplished. And when we get back to Washington, we're going to be right back to it, doing more work for the future. But I think it's important for my Democrat colleagues to understand one thing. They complain and they whine and they moan about the wealth gap between rich and poor. The way you squeeze the wealth gap is making sure working families keep more of their money, have a thriving economy, have stable energy prices, so their wages rise while inflation is stable. That's how you squeeze the wealth gap. You don't close that gap by just putting out more entitlements and more spending. That's been the Democrat approach. It's always been wrong. Donald Trump's recipe for success is right. That's why we're going to make America great again.
You know, Democrats used to understand that. The phrase "a rising tide lifts all boats" came from John F. Kennedy back in the 1960s. He got it. A lot of Democrats don't these days. Byron Donalds, great to see you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.